the medical intervention on a person. Symbolism of medicine in some ways is the use of the supplement and the transformation of the poison into medicine, the transformation of death into healing. And so you take the poison of the snake and then you make it into an antivenom, right? You make it into a cure. You take the disease, you turn it into a vaccine. And so that is what medicine is always doing. It's using a process of supplementarity in order to create change in the person and to bring them back to the middle, right? To bring them back to the center. But it's a tricky game, right? Because the thing you're giving to the patient can kill them. Almost always, right? It's like, and so, you have cancer, you do chemotherapy. Is it doing you good or is it doing you bad? And it's not clear. Like it's not clear in the sense that it's not obvious that it's a universal thing. You have to dose it and you have to find the right type of poisoning to bring about a transformation. So it has to do with change, right? It's like, how do I change your condition to bring you back to the straight? But I have to use the means of the serpent in order to do that. And that's why medicine looks the way it does, and that's why it's always medicine is always to some extent ambiguous, right? So it's ambiguous in many, many ways, right? So think about, again, like if you get sick and then if you get a headache, do you take Tylenol? Depends, right? You have to think about it, because if you take Tylenol when you have a headache, the next time you have a headache, you better take Tylenol, because you're not used to getting a headache. And so now so the danger is that every time now you have a little headache, you can't stand it, so you take Tylenol, and so you become addicted to the medicine. So the question is, what's the threshold of medicine, right? What's the threshold where you engage with the supplement in order to bring yourself back to the center? A supplement can both be a help and a crutch. And that crutch can sometimes be helpful or detrimental to you, and you have to find the balance between the two.
That's brilliant. And it seems like some of these really iconic, powerful symbols are about reminding us of balance. Like, it's about showing us that very dark things can actually turn out to be very light, and you need both.
Well, for sure. So Satan and the devil you can see that occurring in any body that you can recognize as having unity.
Yeah, I'm thinking if like part of the yin yang tried to exit the yin yang, that would be very demonic.
Well, exactly. And so it's interesting though, but it's good to think about that, because the St. Maximus the Confessor, who's one of my favorite church fathers, he talks about what he calls the sins of the right hand and the sins of the left hand. Sin starts with the right hand and manifests itself as pride, as self-sufficiency, as arrogance. But then as soon as you do that, it breaks apart, right? Things break apart. And then the left-hand sins come in and take over. And so it starts with pride and then ends in darkness, ends in yin. It ends in like the shattering of the body.